So hello, today we will be going through chapter 6, conditionals and loops. So basically what are conditionals? Conditionals are basically decisions that are made based on certain conditions. Right? So how that would work is you would need an if statement. What an if statement does is it allows you to make certain decisions based on if something is true, you know? So here's an example of an if statement. So you have your variable assigned here and the data value assigned to the variable. And then you have, so basically the name is Nicholas. Then you have the if statement with the condition. This is the condition. The if statement is based on this condition. So if name length is greater than 7, then the console will log, wow, you have a really long name. So it's based on this condition. That's how an if statement looks, essentially. Then you have if else. If else block, it's basically if the first condition is not true, then it moves to the else statement. So if the first condition here is not true, then it will say else your name isn't very long. So it works off different decisions based on whether or not the condition is true. That's how if else statements work. So you can see here, if console log do something, else, well no, if the condition here is true, then it will print this, do something, or else it will move to this, do something else. And then that's an extended version of the if else statements, else if. So we can show you here in VS Code. Here's an example. If team name length is greater than 5. So as you can see here, we assign the variable here. Here's the team name, Manchester United. So if the team name length is greater than 5, then console.log hello team name, which is Manchester United. So say hello team name. Else if team name length is equal to 2, then you put the team name cannot be that short. Else that is not a team name. So there's different decisions within the if else statement. Then that's a basic understanding of if else. So it's a decision making tool. Then you have loops. Loops basically allow you to repeat a specific code based on a condition, if I can put it that way. So it goes through a specific loop continuously until the condition is false. And once the condition is false, then the loop ends. So you have a while loop. So basically, this is how a while loop looks. So if you can go to the console VS Code. A while loop, here's an example of a while loop. So you have your variable assigned here, which is the sheep counted equals to 0. While sheep counted is less than 10, right? That's your condition. While the sheep counted is less than 10, console.log, so the console will log this result. I have counted so and so amount of sheep. So it will go through each amount of sheep. So from 1 all the way until basically 9 because it's less than 10. All the numbers less than 10. The reason that happens is because you increment it over here. Sheep counted, and you increment it with the plus plus operator. That's how a while loop looks, and that's how it works. So it's based off this condition, and the condition states that it has to be less than 10. And it increments all the numbers that are less than 10. Once it gets to 10, it becomes false, and the loop ends. So here's an example of how the result will look. So just like we explained in the code now, this is how it will look. It goes through all the numbers less than 10. So you can see here it goes through 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 sheep. And then it ends there because you incremented it, and the condition was stating that the sheep should be less than 10. That's a while loop. Then you have for loop. The for loop is kind of different. It makes it easier to write loops that create a variable. A loop until a condition is true and updates the variable at the end of each turn around the loop. So basically put your variable, right? So you start with for, and then it puts your variable and your condition as well as your incrementation. So like when you increment the amount of sheep, it puts all three of those in one space as one block of code, right? And then based on the condition, you get this result. I have counted so and so sheep. So this will also go through all the sheep less than 10. So from 1 until 9, because of this. The condition states that the sheep counted should be less than 10. And it increments all the numbers less than 10 over here. That's how a for loop looks. So if you look here, you assign this variable, or let's say here, this variable family, and it lists all the family members here. Now if you look here, there's the for loop. The for loop has this variable assigned to it, and then it has the condition, which states that I should be less than family.length, and it increments it, and then it'll show these are my family members. And then what it will do is it will go through each family member in this array. So we'll start here, 0, 1, 2, 3, and then the loop will end there at the last one. So based on the family length. That's how a for loop basically looks. And then another example of a for loop. So this would be a result of a for loop as well, as you can see. Here's another example of a for loop. So var name equals Nick. So you'll see here the variable assigned to it. Sorry. The condition and the incrementation. So it increments through, basically, increments through each character in the name. So N-I-C-K. So 0, 1, 2, 3. That's essentially how how it looks. So just to show you how a for loop would look when we type it out here. So if I assign a specific, let's say number of cars equals 20. This is the variable. So here's my variable assigned to it, and then we'll have I is less than or equal to, let's say 30. Then I plus plus incremented. Console.log. Number of cars. So that's essentially how a for loop would look. So it has your variable, and then all cars less than 30 will increment through all of them. And then it increments through all of them because of this incrementation. And then it prints all the numbers from 1 until 30 over here. So yeah, that's basically loops and conditions. Basic understanding of it in this chapter. So yeah, thank you for watching.